won't budge. It won't open. It won't budge.
With a good wine piping, with a good wind piping early in the tall and gallant man. Ah, my boys, these are the joys of the noble and the brave, who love a life in the tempest strife and home of the damned. When the driving rain of the hurricane puts the lights of the lighthouse out, and the growling thunder sounds his gong, and the whirlwinds bout. Who's that there? Oh, can you spare a few pennies, young mister? I can give you something for your generosity.
Who are you?
Zadok, that be my name, though too few use it now. Zadok Khaled.
Do you know a Brian Burnham?
Just a young'un. Worked over the store. He's gone. Killed, I reckon.
Killed? What makes you think that?
Them's from out of town running a store. Taking business from the Order of Dagon. They'd not accept that.
What else can you tell me about this port?
You just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice, and old Zadok will fill your ears. Why, you're uncommonly kind, young feller. Here be a little something in gratitude that might help you in your search. Now you be calling me crazy. Like them that's thar rumoring and anchoring in Ipswich. But old Zadok's seen all manner of wicked things since before you was born. Old Captain Obed where it all began, telling desperate folks they'd order get better gods, them's that would answer their prayers.
Didn't the Christian folk of Insmith object to such blasphemy?
Aye, they did. It were around 46 that many folks in town were done with Obed and his ways. And all that wild preaching and too many missing, you see. A party of good folk followed Captain Obed's crowd out to the reef. Shots were fired. Next day, Obed and 30 of his followers were in jail. And for weeks all were quiet, till that artful night of 46. Them's out outside reckon out it being a riot. But I'd seen them. Swarms of them.
Look, old man. I don't have time to listen to these fishing tales.
Oh, was a massacre. The jail thrown open. Mounds of the dead and the dying. Shooting and screaming and shouting all across the town square. Come morning, the mess was cleaned up. Old Obed and his family takes charge, they did. Folks were told to keep shy as strangers if we were knowing what was good for us.
Zadok, who did all this? Who did all?
Said the old captain was now deeper in debt to his heathen gods. They were hankering for more than just sacrifice. Obed told folks they had to take the oaths of Dagon.
What the hell are these oaths?
You just asked old Wes about oaths of Dagon. Aye, he take the third oath. Just head over to his hole in that Dog Street. Then you'll see, for definite.
He's given me a key to the town poorhouse. It could come in handy. Where did Captain Obed Marsh learn of these heathen matters?
In war and foreign parts, the old fool I learned the ways of making gain, doing heathen things. He found a tribe of Kanakis in the South Seas led by a savage. Chief went by the name of Wallachia. And his tribe never went without food, for they had all the fish they could catch. Old Obed learned from his Wallachia that there's things on this earth as most folks never heard about. Seems these Kanakis was worshipping undersea gods, with heaps of human sacrifices and other heathen things. But they was getting all kinds of favors in return. Plenty of fishing and even gold now and then.
Human sacrifices? Maybe you've had just a bit too much.
I don't blame you for not believing it, young fella. But just answer me this. Why did Captain Obed roll out to the reef of Satan and chant a lot of rites and incantations in the dead of night? So loud you could hear 'em all over apart. He got something in the water that eve, out the other side of Devil's Reef. Some kind of thingamajig crafted out of lead. It was given to him by Wallachia.
So, what happened?
Well, not long after that smoke started coming out of the chimneys at the old gold refinery, the Marsh family and those that had joined with Obed in his ways started prospering in the esoteric order of Dagon. Came into being with his heathen sermon, that shit they do.
What kinds of ceremonies?
Yeah. Get out of here, lad. Don't wait for nothing. They'll know now.
I think he's had his fill for the night. Zadok! Zadok!
Curse you, lad, for staring at me with them eyes. The old Captain Manel, and he's staying there. He can get me. He can't. No, he can't get me. I had nothing done. I ain't done nothing or told nobody nothing.
Are you okay, old-timer?
Yeah, leave me be.
It won't budge. It won't open. It's just an advertisement for the local Methodist church.
Mr. Walters, I must speak with you.
It's Jack. And is there anyone in Insmith who doesn't know my name?
My name's Rebecca Lawrence, and unless you want to join Insmith's long list of missing, I'd urge you to follow me.
Missing, huh? Like Burnham?
Of that, I'm not sure. You'd be better off asking the Billingham's daughter, Ruth. She was dating Brian.
What? Who's Ruth?
Quickly, you have to follow me. It's not wise to be seen talking to outsiders. Jack, Insmith is a strange place. There are things that have no business being here. Foul, reeking things.
Strange. Trust me, I'm good with strange.
That remains to be seen, but I can help you. My father discovered this strange sign while studying an old manuscript. It seems to ward off the more unusual elements in Insmith. Whenever you find one, you can use it to find a moment of sanctuary. Now, I must leave before we're seen together.
I've seen that eye-like symbol somewhere before, but never surrounded by a star. Washington Street. Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Can't say as I noticed what you're saying, stranger.
It won't open. These posters are everywhere. Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked...
Please, stop bothering me, stranger.
A storage cellar for one of the stores.
Jack, we can't be seen talking together. What is it?
Why do you stay in Insmith, Rebecca?
My grandfather, John Lawrence, was editor of the Insmith Courier. He was murdered in the slaughter of 46. He had always despised the Marshes and their blasphemous doings, and it was he who led the party out to the reef that night. They arrested Captain Marsh and his order and tossed them in the old jailhouse. A few weeks later, my grandfather was dead. My father saw him die. Him and many others, burned alive in the Courier's basement.
All the more grounds to leave.
To leave would be to fail my own legacy. I have a duty to protect the good in Insmith, at least what little good remains.
Rebecca, maybe you know. What happened at the variety store?
Ah, Tom Waite's place. The gossip on the streets is that the store safe holds a great treasure. Since the Order got wind of the rumors, they've been desperate to get their filthy hands on it. But it seems they can't get close.
Odd. Do you suppose Burnham knew about it? Maybe he pocketed it before breezing out of town.
I don't know, Jack. He'd only been in town a few months, and we can't be certain he even managed to leave. Ruth Billingham must be involved in all of this somehow. She was desperate for a way out of Insmith.
What do you know about her?
Only that she and Brian were close, much to the Order's disapproval. You should speak to Tom Waits. Find out for certain if the treasure's gone.
Where can I find him?
He lives on 803 Dock Street, just by the back of the old town poorhouse.
Where did you say I could find Waits again?
He lives on 803 Dock Street, by the back of the poorhouse.
That bridge spans the Monuxet River. Hello, Mackie.
Jack, swell to see you again. Any leads on the Burnham case?
Nope. Did you know the lad at all?
Just pleasantries. Seemed a nice enough fella, if a little rough around the edges. Strange business, though. I'd never have fingered him as a crook. The First National was a well-run store, a rare thing here in Insmith.
Okay, Mackie. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack. Be careful what you're doing. Very careful. Insmith's a dangerous place. Not everyone who visits here ends up leaving by the old bus route.
This Mackie character knows plenty, but I don't think grilling him for scraps of information is going to crack this case. What do you know about the break-in at the variety store?
Only what was in the press. You should speak to Thomas Waite. He owns the joint.
Where's the store?
It's just on the main square, but it's probably shut now. You should try him at home.
Where's his place?
I think the Waite's house is over on Dock Street, near the back of the pool house.
Thanks.
Though I warn you, Insmith's driven old Waite's a bit crazy. He doesn't talk a lot of sense.
That's my sort of fella. He sounds just perfect. Won't budge. It won't open. The window looks into some old passageway. It's a variety store, and it's closed. Evening.
Hi.
The name's Jack Walters. I'm just visiting.
You don't say, sir. Gilman. Charlie Gilman. I run this here hotel of an evening.
You got any rooms?
I'd not rightly know that for sure. All habits cleaning rooms at present. Them's from out of town can leave a horrid mess.
Hello, Gilman.
What do you want now?
Strange thing about that Burnham lad.
Burnham? Can't rightly says I know what you're talking about.
That's odd. It was all over the Arkham Press. Must have been a bit of a local scandal.
Them's matters for the police, stranger. Insmith's not a town for rumoring and talking.
He isn't gonna spill with anything useful. A dusty assortment of old books. It won't budge. It's unlocked.
If I see you without fire, I'll report your order.
I'll not say nothing.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Just leave me be, stranger.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
Just leave me be, stranger.
It won't open. Do you need any help? Disease is rampant in this town. It won't budge. Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Can't help you.
It's the entrance to the town poorhouse. It won't budge.
Since old Lady Warren's passed away, the food is rotten, but we'll die soon enough.
What are you looking at there, old-timer?
Nothing. I'm just looking. What you doing in old Warren's house, young feller? This hole is for the broke and the dying.
I'm trying to find Dock Street.
It's out back of the house. Everything in Insmith is rotten and dying. Windows boarded up, and all sorts of curious barking and crawling around black cellars and attics. How'd you like to be living in a town like this, feller?
I've been to more welcoming places. I don't think he's been outdoors for years. He isn't gonna know anything. That Zadok Allen tells some wild tales.
Aye, Zadok's a troublemaker, I tell you. If he weren't such a drunken old fool, he ought to have sorted him out before now.
Insmith must have an intriguing past.
Insmith's a historic town, stranger. Plenty of history here.
Do you know anything about the robberies of the 2 stores in town?
No, can't help you there, fella. I can only tell you what I seen from this here window, and that ain't much of nothing.
Do you know anything about the robberies of the 2 stores in town?
No, can't help you there, fella. I can only tell you what I seen from this here window, and that ain't much of nothing.
This almshouse is home to the old and the destitute. These beds reek of sweat and urine. Her sleep is restless and erratic. The old woman's dead. She must have kicked it a week back, or more. It won't budge. It won't budge. These posters are everywhere. It won't open. I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
I never had no Brian.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
It's getting late outside. Folks says no one's good for them are safely rotted in their homes by now.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
It's getting late outside. Folks says no one's good for them are safely rotted in their homes by now.
Hello there, little lady.
Hi, sir.
Are your parents at home?
Daddy's at work and Mommy's upstairs in the attic. She's been bad.
I see. So, what's your name, little lady?
Ramona?
Well, Ramona, could you get your mommy for me?
Nope. Mommy bites. Daddy says we've got to keep her up there for her own good.
Excuse me?
When I go near the door, she growls. I don't love Mommy like I love my daddy.
You don't say. Ramona, I really need to speak to your daddy. Do you know when he'll be home?
Soon, I think. You can wait inside if you like. Daddy won't mind. I'm drawing pictures with my crayons.
That would be great. Thanks. I should check the place over while I've got the chance. Nothing of interest. What are you drawing, Ramona?
Pictures of Mommy and Daddy.
What are you drawing, Ramona?
Pictures of Mommy and Daddy.
It won't open. A house plant. It won't budge. It's a recent family photo. The corner's been torn off. I can only see Thomas and Ramona Waits in the picture. It won't budge. Nope, nothing of interest. It won't budge. It won't open. It won't open.